Harry Redknapp rang the changes for the Carling Cup in midweek. Back today come Hislop, Stefanovic, Kwasi, Fai, Yakubu and Eyal Berkovic in that floating midfield role. It is the same starting 11 that lost rather unluckily in the end at Blackburn last time out in the league. Some good and bad news for David Moyes. He has lost the promising Leon Osman, injured. He's out for the first time this season, but he can use the vacancy to reintroduce Tim Cahill, who was suspended from the Premiership victory against Middlesbrough for that overzealous celebration of his first Everton goal, the winner against Manchester City.
Well, you look at the system, Portsmouth, it's becoming a more and more familiar one in big games that Harry likes to go into. Sticks with pretty much a back four. He's had to jiggle it a little bit with injuries, but he sticks to back four. He likes that, and in front of him he has that bank of three. One's given pretty much a free rein, and obviously that's Patrick Berger, and why not go and influence the game? He's not restricted in any way at all, and along with Eyal Berkovic, who likes it, we know, go and pick the ball up anywhere across the pitch. And both of those players will be asked to influence the play in a positive way. And it is good, man, because behind that they've got people like Amdi Faye and Nigel Quasi who have a bit of discipline, and they will provide that discipline, and they'll need it. But if they can get some service to a lively front two in Ricardo Fuller and Yakubu, then Everton are going to have to defend well. David Moyes is pretty happy with the system that he's found, whether by hook or by crook, or very much planned. When we see it's a back four, he likes that too. Doesn't really change that too often, but it's what he's done ahead of that that's slightly different than previous seasons. He's got the holding player here and Lee Carsley, and I think when you've got two lively front men like Yakubu and like Fuller against two plus 30-year-old centre-backs, then you might need a bit of protection, and obviously Carsley's job will be to do that. That leaves a huge emphasis on your front man, being good enough to hold it up when he has to, but also being quick and athletic enough to spin down in the channels if he has to, and then buy a bit of time. And then from that, have you got players? You have, in Cahill, and then Gravison in particular like to get forward, and even Watson and Kilban from wide areas. So it's a system that demands that quartet of players not only supplement the back, but are quick to support the front man as well.
Well, Portsmouth folk have found coming here as much a late summer pleasure as the nearby beach at Southsea. They've seen Pompey pick up 7 goals in their last 2 home games. But in terms of Everton's resistance, well, out of adversity, and there's been plenty of that at Goodison Park, has come some real strength. Third in the Barclays Premiership, despite a saga in the boardroom so bitter that their impresario chairman, Bill Kenwright, could probably put it on the stage. Despite David Moyes being given only a shoestring budget until Wayne Rooney was sold, but that deal so close to the deadline that any reinvestment that Everton board give the manager for the team now has to wait until January.
But aren't the players doing well and buying them some time? I think it's fantastic. That's one of the things David will be delighted about at the moment. Confident, going well, gives them plenty of time to plan.
Well, particularly conspicuous in the Pompey ranks today, David Unsworth, 350 games for Everton in 2 spells as a stalwart at the club before in the summer swapping parks from Goodison to Fratton. There'll be a bit of banter here. But there's some mysterious stuff ahead at the end of the Fratton Park tunnel. But I think Everton have been bound together, as you say, as if they're relieved, Andy, that all the ballyhoo about whether Rooney would stay or go is finally over.
I think that's right. I think that's been a huge part of all the recovery that they've made. They can relax. The players know there's no Rooney factor anymore, whether he comes, whether he goes. Would he be here till January or not? When would he be gone? That would have disrupted the club probably even more. And I think in the long term, Wayne going when he did will benefit Everton Football Club.
Well, how much they might miss him is certainly an issue today. Everton did the double over Portsmouth last season, and Wayne Rooney scored the winner in both matches. Portsmouth, well, they're usually great fun to watch here at Fratton Park. As for Everton, they're very high on confidence. It's live for you all right after the break. Well, since he played for Millwall in the FA Cup final in May, life has been very eventful for Tim Cahill. A move across South London to Crystal Palace fell through, so Everton stepped in. Then he was off to the Olympics with Australia. Then his first Premiership goal, the celebration of which led to that red card, but was still enough to win that game at Manchester City. Well, if there was an autumnal chill about the country yesterday, that's certainly gone here down on the south coast. Beautiful late afternoon. Good playing surface. Portsmouth, who do love to pop the ball around here, and have been doing it with conspicuous success. It's something of a fortress for them. Unbeaten at home in the league since February. And it is Portsmouth to kick off. They're averaging almost 2 goals a game this season in the Premiership, but no clean sheets. Everton, in contrast, haven't conceded a goal in almost 6 hours of Premiership play. Here's Unsworth, who has played against Everton before in his one season with West Ham, when of course he was managed as now by Harry Redknapp. Griffin down here from Newcastle United in the summer, getting a run at right back. Marian Deseu was injured against Crystal Palace, and he's an important figure defensively for Portsmouth. They didn't play well in the match against Palace after Deseu went off. Harry Redknapp was ending up changing the system to try and accommodate the deficiency. Chase for Gulban. Must have enjoyed the Middlesbrough win last weekend, because Middlesbrough on their coaching staff his father-in-law, Steve Harrison. Primus stepping in. Gravis. Sandro Pistoni getting well forward from left back. Nicely spotted by Stubbs. Bent is the one out-and-out striker. He was a fitness doubt before the game, tight hamstring, but past fit to play. David Moyes only made up his mind earlier today on his final selection.
Yeah, that was a little part of what his job would be today, if it's up to him to hold it, protect it, keep possession. Interesting to see how ambitious Everton are with regards to pushing in early and high up the pitch, or will they let Pompey have it amongst the back four?
Stoney's header, and Primus and Stefanovic going for the same ball. An indication there of the point I was making about Deseu, who dovetails well with Stefanovic normally in the centre of defence. Primus is a centre-back, but he's played most of his Premiership football as a right-back. Watson tight against the touchline. Trying to hammer it across. And closing down. Patrick Berger, of course, knows a thing or two about Everton from his time on Merseyside with Liverpool. Letting it run, but it couldn't have been a call. There was no one behind him. Now Fuller.
Just let a couple of touches, Pompey, at the moment. And that's what I mean about would they press up. That's good pressure. Early, high up the pitch.
Well, 7th 2 seasons ago, that might just have flattered Everton. 17th certainly did them a disservice in May. They lost their last 4 games last season, and it really fell away with all those problems of financial nature. Just finally getting to the dressing room. If you talk to David Moyes, he'd probably say we are somewhere in between.
I think that's fair.
But at the moment, they are 3rd, and 3 points today, and they're emphatically 3rd.
You can see there's a little confidence about them, popping it about, looking to go on the ball. Players want it. That's what confidence does for you. Instead of a player having the ball, and at times when you're not playing the confidence, all you see a backside running away from you. They're actually showing for it, wanting it. Pompey very much in the same mould, of course.
A bit of overconfidence a moment or two ago by Marcus Bent, who found himself one of the deeper players for Everton and got caught in possession. Carsley puts it out. Try needing some attention. Dermot Gallagher, incidentally, is the referee.
Yeah,
Right
he
on
just
the
gets
spot.
caught. Just a tangle of legs more than anything with Tim Cahill there.
Australia have got internationals coming up, so it'll be a long journey home for a short time. The October international break not too far away. Andy Fine missed the start of the season. They were pleased to have him back. He's an important part of the balance that Harry Redknapp needs, with plenty of attacking characters in his team. Berger and Berkovic, as you pointed out, Andy, over the formations, want to do their work in Everton territory. Two very lively front men, the Nigerian Yakubu and the Jamaican Fuller.
And that might just be the key for them again. Two centre-backs, how well they cope with the front two. And Nate Carsley must have been told that should Pompey get the ball centrally like this, and Berkovic is 20 yards, 30 yards higher up the pitch, and Carsley has a responsibility to deal with them.
Berkovic quite deep at the moment. He's moving ahead of Kwasi now, been given him the ball. He was given the ball, but I don't think really wanted it there. It's pressed by Gravison. As Everton set out their stall in these early minutes at Fratton Park. Berger. Unsworth. Yakubu does like to come from the left-hand side.
A good channel runners, what I would call the front two as well, Yakubu and Fuller. They do like to spin down the sides of full-backs and centre-backs. Get the ball quite often in these positions and are quite confident in their ability to take people on. That's a good decision from Dermot Gallagher. Did come back off Yakubu.
It's a good challenge by David Weir, who has kept his place. He got in because Yobo was injured, and he's of course been part of a defence that has been shutting out the opposition.
But that's where you'd want to get Weir and Stubbs if you can. And you're playing against Everton. If you can get the centre-backs wide, they're not the quickest, if I'm being totally honest, and they might just be able to expose them, Pompey, if that's the case.
Some tackling back. And it's under-hit one from Stubbs. Berger seizing on possession. Backed up by Unsworth. Castani helping it out of harm's way. Then he got it back from Kilban, but they kept their cool, Everton.
Good challenge. Well, that's what Kwasi and Fai give them, as opposed to the quality and the attacking sense of Berkovic and Berger. Creativity. Kwasi and Fai very good at the ugly part of the game.
Everton had a bit of a scare in midweek in the Carling Cup. They lost a 2-0 lead at Bristol City, but they won the subsequent penalty shootout. David Moyes could face his old club Preston in the next round. Also went through 1-0 winners at Tranmere. It's not an easy place to go to. Cahill went there with Millwall last season and won an FA Cup tie. Kwasi. Yakubu was behind Hibbert, which makes him rather difficult to find.
Absolutely.
Primus. Griffin. Fuller, who opened his Portsmouth account and his Premiership account with a goal against one of his former clubs, Crystal Palace. I think he has to show his talent at this level. That's pretty well known in the football world. It's his fitness, really, that's mostly under question. The medical men don't like him. Griffin. Kwasi. You thought going into the work from midfield, and he's going to need that. Stefanovic. Solid with the header on from Cahill. Stefanovic in, Berkovic to the chest. Berger had a look to see whether Unsworth was outside, and he wasn't. Yakubu. Down from each side, actually Fuller for Portsmouth is back on his feet. And went over the prone Carsley, who's also recovering.
Carsley or Gravison, I get those two mixed up. Don't they look alike?
Yeah, We'll stick with Carsley this time.
He's going to give a free kick, Dermot Gallagher there, and it certainly was. You see the whistle went to the mouth, but because Yakubu picked up the ball, he allowed play to go on. I think he might well have liked a free kick from that range, Pompey.
It's a good job Dermot Gallagher's wearing black as well, because he's from the Carsley and Gravesen school of shaven-headedness. Respectful start to the game.
I'm not quite sure I'd have given that ball back there. I mean, I'm assuming he did that, Stefanovic, but I mean, that was a clearance from Everton, who were very much under the cosh a little bit there. I don't think there was any thought of just playing it out.
Forward by Stefanovic, by Carsley, and Kilban trying to put a pressure on Griffin here. Talk about David Unsworth leaving Everton. He was one of a number of senior players. Thomas Radzinski, another important goal scorers with Rooney. Last season's 2 top scorers for Everton. Only Bent and Cahill have come in. Not much money available. Well, there wasn't much money available, and now suddenly Manchester United have solved that problem. But you can't buy any players in September unless they are technically out of work. And there are 1 or 2 like that, of course. Everton haven't seized upon that particular loophole. Yakubu, Unsworth. Nigel Martin, ageless goalkeeper. He got in when Richard Wright was injured about a year ago, and apart from the Carling Cup game on Wednesday night, Wright's not been seen since he recovered from his knee problem. But I found a goalkeeper in the Premiership yesterday even older than Nigel Martin. He's 38. Kevin Poole, an old teammate of yours, is on the bench for Bolton.
He must be old.
41. Sends his best wishes to you.
Well, the lad. Excellent.
Fuller. Now Griffin. Berkovic, Kwasi. Shoot from long range if Everton stand off, and then there's a deflection and a scrambling save by Nigel Martin.
Well, I'm not sure who that hit, but certainly Berkovic, if you watch the run he makes right in the middle of the screen, I think they're talking about him being offside. It wouldn't have been given as offside. Goalkeeper's lively and alert there, and it's just as well that's only a yard away from him.
Carsley clears to Gravesen. Brent does his job, holds it up, and he's got the pace to get in behind if they can find the ball for him. Kilban was looking for that. Good interception by Griffin. Kilban probing again. Watson coming from the opposite flank, who's very good on the air.
Oh, at the post.
In the air and coming into the penalty area. Hasn't scored. He got a hat-trick last season in the Premiership. Hasn't scored since. Maybe he used up all his luck that day.
This is a great run. Absolutely top draw run, and Kilban just picks out a peach of a cross. Oh, he's unlucky. He's so unlucky. We talked about Berger. Would he be any good defensively? There's a classic example of what we talked about. Not at home in his own penalty area, Patrick Berger could do nothing to stop Watson's run.
Here's Kwasi. Game starting to open up. And Kwasi opening up with a blast that comes back off the post. Berger, Yakubu. Well, the frame of both goals at Fratton Park have been struck within a matter of seconds.
Well, his first shot was a rather scuffed one. It took a big deflection and troubled the goalkeeper. This was nothing but hit beautifully sweet. That beats the goalkeeper. Nigel Martin's just turning around to pick it out. He's waving it goodbye. And he's thankful it's thudded off the upright. Beautiful strike.
Headed on by Kilban. Good reactions by Bent. Watson wanting to join in again. Gravesen. Should have been a simple steer for Kilban. Made it very difficult for the Republic of Ireland international. And then the Dane trying to make up for that misplaced pass gives away the free kick. It's a real thanks mate look from Kilban to Gravesen. But there was a bit of sparring in the opening 10 minutes. of clubs would have looked at their opponents today with respect. Now it's a game being played with a bit more sharpness. It could have led to a goal at either end. Griffin. Berkovic on the short side, Watson.
Well, that's when you get a little narrow, Pompey. The only problem with playing the system, they've got to get width from somewhere. Fullbacks, it's important that they get it from there.
Kazi's ball for Yakubu.
Yeah, might have done better. I always think when a player gets into that position, the thing you have to do is stand it up. When you just get your foot under it, you stand it up back post. And you're hoping you've cut out the goalkeeper and defenders who are attracted to the near post.
He'll
get there.
Stanley trying to make his own point with his reluctance. And heading on. Cahill trying to drive on. That's the style that attracted David Moyes to bring him into the Premiership. There are plenty of clubs that looked at Tim Cahill. Who had several good seasons at Millwall. It wasn't just a case of catching the eye in a cup run last season. Cahill again. Krasi, mostly on the right, primarily left-footed, and just a millimetre away from ending Everton's excellent defensive sequence over 6 hours without conceding a goal in the league. Cahill. Gravison rather chugging down the touchline. Kilban going in.
He just got enough on it, didn't he, the defender? It's one of those where Kilban just nicks it, and you've committed yourself to the tackle, and you're giving away a penalty.
A bit of friendly banter, I think, between Gravison and some Pompey fans. It's David Weir.
He gets up, but once he's up there, he can't really impart the power needed. It's almost just a nod back to Shaka Hislop. But he got there. It's a poor ball. Poor ball from Yakubu.
Kilban has seen plenty of the ball early on. That's it again from Carsley. Now Gravison. Pistoni setting off outside him. Distracting one of the defenders. Gravison taking too long. Score of 2 goals in the win at Crystal Palace. Kilban. Watson's come in too far this time, too early, really.
Yeah, I think they'd been earlier when Gravison had it wide. He made the run, didn't quite get back out again.
Fuller. Pull back. Well, Marcus Bent, subject now of the player cam for Sky Digital viewers. Still only 26. Everton, his 8th club. About Marcus Bent, he's usually in demand, isn't he? Leicester took him at the 11th hour last season before the transfer window closed. He did his bit despite relegation at the Walker Stadium.
I think so. I mean, I don't think he's ever going to be prolific, Marcus. I would have to say that. But you know what you get from him.
Berkovic.
So you expect Carsley to be, if it's played into Berkovic in those areas, he's very, very close, very tight. Not letting him influence the game.
Unsworth. We're trying to get tight on Yakubu, too tight, the Pompey fans thought.
The ball's a little too high. If it's into his chest, which it should have been from David Unsworth, a little heavy-handed with his pass.
Kilban. Then threatening, as if he feels that he might have the measure of Andy Griffin, but Griffin wins that little duel.
I think that's going to be an interesting little tussle over there. I think Kilban's confident at the moment. He's usually a confidence player, Kevin Kilban. We saw at times when he was at Sunderland how he shrunk seemingly when he had to play at home. Fans gave him a tough time there.
Well, the last corner, David Weir got a header in. whether Everton can climb. Well, Stefanovic hasn't really dealt with it, and then Steve Watson was jumping. It's David Weir actually doing the collecting here and the crossing. There's been a bit of pushing there by Bent. Dermot Gallagher hasn't seen it that way. Corner taker Gravison. To dodge Stefanovic, who refuses to be dodged.
That's a little heavy as well, the pass.
It's a shame, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because from Portsmouth's point of view, it was Patrick Berger who was a bit more deft with the touch.
He had all to do, Berkovic, to be fair. It was 4 against 1, and he got in control of it. He'd had to have bought a little bit of time. I think when you think that Portsmouth, I think the last 20 games they've lost the first goal. They've lost 17 and drawn 3 of those matches. I think then Everton would realise the importance of them scoring first. They're not renowned for pegging a game back that they lose the first goal in.
This could be it for Everton with Gravison. And it's stayed out.
Brilliant.
Stefanovic.
Brilliant, yeah. Absolutely top draw. All of it. The ball, defending's not great. The take from Gravison. He drives, releases it absolutely right. And how on earth has Stefanovic kept that out? Super defender from the centre-back.
Quasi. Berkovic wanted to take over. Quasi was having none of that. Could be a playmaker as well. Ainsworth enjoying a little joust with Watson. Patrick Berger scored 2 eye-popping goals already this season. One at Charlton and one here against Crystal Palace. He hasn't got within range yet. As Everton have settled, like the side that looked at the league table and say, yeah, we do believe we should be there. Griffin. 5. Unsworth. Quite happy to see Portsmouth played across the pitch here.
Well, they've done quite well, Everton, I have to say. You look at the 2 quasi efforts from long range. That apart, I think defensively that they've kept Portsmouth pretty much in check. I think it's when you play Berkovic to play this system, I think Harry often looks at it. And he looks at the first half and he says, well, has Berkovic influenced the game in the way that he needs to if he's going to be in this side? Because he does have the option to change it to a quartet of midfield players, a more obvious one, if you like. And he can do that. And I think it's important for Pompey, particularly when they're at home, that Berkovic is going to influence a game. He hasn't as yet.
Quasi. Berkovic has this problem. It's called Lee Carsley.
Yeah.
Griffin. Halfway through the first half. It's been an intriguing 20-odd minutes. Gravison. It's a better ball for Kilban this time, inviting him to cross it. Pistone. Carsley.
Supply's been very good, particularly from this side from Kilban.
He's past Griffin. But Griffin got back at him, and Dermot Gallagher was right
dangerous
there.
Tackle, wasn't
Very
it?
dangerous.
You know, he's had to go through him almost to get to the ball.
Hoisted long by Quasi, not much more than that, but Fuller trying to turn it into something more than that. Well tracked by Weir. Cahill. Stanley saw that coming.
Yeah, that's the problem Portsmouth have had. They haven't had anything wide to play the ball off. Everything's been central. Whereas Everton have spread the ball from left to right very well indeed. Used the whole width of the pitch.
Hibbert.
Well, that's the first bad cross they played in, really. It stayed in as well.
Griffin can go and collect. And 3 men in white shirts in the middle thinking, why didn't I anticipate that? I hope they're thinking that. Stefanovic.
David Weir already in the channel, anticipating the pass.
Stubbs, he's a good user of the ball. Anderson has stayed down. The challenge is by Berger. And Ainsworth, I think, against Everton, will put the ball out. The supporters of his new club weren't totally convinced by that, but...
No, I mean, Patrick Berger not noted for his crunching tackles. Not something we talk about a lot. Gravison just got caught up a little bit there, and I have to say, I'm not so sure. Maybe the arm just comes across the shoulder, but that's nothing, that is. Well, he just landed, twisted something.
Mick Rathbone, former player himself, is the Everton physio. Monday night football for you from the Premiership. And it comes from the Valley. From some game last season, Charlton and Blackburn. Brad Friedel is not a name you mention around Fratton Park after that penalty incident last weekend that wasn't given, and Portsmouth really should have been handed the chance to equalise. He scored in that game, of course, for Blackburn, thought it was an equaliser and then immediately conceded. So will we get something similar? I doubt if we'll get that again, but I'm sure it will be very entertaining. You can follow it live, of course. If you can't get to the game at the Valley, you can follow it with us on Sky Sports. Solid Dane is back on, Thomas Gravison, with Denmark's squad in Euro 2004, of course. Shaka Hislop was a real hero in that Crystal Palace match. He saved a penalty from Andrew Johnson. Would have been 2-2 had it gone in. Palace would have gone on to do even better. There's Andrew Martin getting a challenge from Yakubu. Dermot Gallagher perhaps allowed Everton to go on rather than stop the play. They had the ball. And Stefanovic, touch was a bit heavy. Not so from Berger. They have seen it coming, the ball up towards Fuller and Yakubu. Everton generally.
Well, I imagine Martin might well have been looking for a free kick here, but it's Yakubu who comes off second best. I think that's a certain free kick. There's no attempt to play the ball. He's jumped at the Everton goalkeeper, didn't get it. He would not have been happy if anything had come of that.
Come on, Tim. Early, Tim.
An easy game to referee. I say respectful is the word that keeps coming to my mind. Isn't really going at it hammer and tongs, although I must say Everton have looked particularly promising. They have worked it through Kilban.
They've been more threatening in the last third, Everton, I would say that. Well, it's the first this season here in the Premiership. Pompey have done 27 minutes and don't have a goal. That's the longest in any Premiership game. They've had to wait here at Fratton Park for a goal from their team.
Nigel Quasi. So worth a goal, wasn't it? Berger-like in its quality, the shot. Good tussling by Kilban. He seemed to be going down a blind alley, but he found an exit sign for Everton with the ball, and Hibbert will not get away with that.
That was good responsible defending from Yakubu. Had to be switched on there. Ambitious pass from Gravison.
Harry Redknapp hasn't got a great record against Everton as a manager. Only 2 wins in 18 meetings. Obviously getting a bit of advice there from the television presenter Fred Dinage.
That was a line there, but I refused to use that.
We've done it before, Andy.
Yeah, I know.
He's a good fella, Fred. He's a director here at Fratton Park. Here's Kilban.
is a good area for Everton. Oh, what a chance. What a chance. But it's been a good area. Castoni's been keen to get forward, and Griffin's had a problem to deal with.
But here's Berger as it broke down for Everton in what has been their strongest part of the pitch. Quasi's maybe in need of some attention. Dermot Gallagher being advised about that.
Where do you think he caught it?
Let's hope it's just a hole in the sock. Half an hour gone. Had some evidence here of Everton's cause for confidence.
It's just brushed him, isn't it? Just brushed the ankle, that's what's cut the sock. Just glancing blow. Should be okay. He's sore though.
I just wonder whether blades are responsible for it. We saw some cuts in the Middlesbrough Chelsea game yesterday. Sylvank and Ray Parlour.
I know Gordon Strachan's big on that kind of stuff in the, whether blades or studs or thing. He says a lot of players slip over, and he blames an awful lot on the fact that a lot of players wear blades these days as opposed to proper studs.
I'm sure we'll have the boot manufacturers onto us, but well, it does seem to be a trend in the game.
I'm only reiterating what you told me earlier.
Headed on by Yakubu. I think we should get some answers on that subject, actually, because a lot of young players are watching, wondering about maybe getting some new boots and what they should get. Quasi. Stubbs, it falls for Andy Fry.
That's a chance. First of all, they're claiming for penalty. Stubbs is certainly awkward, and he's certainly all over the back. I think it's Yakubu trying to head it clear. Because of the pressure, he doesn't really get any distance, any direction on this header. But Dermot Gallagher may feel that Yakubu's backing in just as much as Stubbs is climbing over. That's half a chance from Fry.
Berger's ball. Very well dealt with again by David Weir. And knows Yobo is fit again and bursting to get back in the team.
Well, it needs to be better than that from David Unsworth. He's playing it up to the front too.
Kilback. Carsley. He's been very economical. He's not made a forward run at all, and even when he's in possession, he's clearly still got Berkovic in his sights. Here's Watson crossing. Ravisson's in there.
Right idea, just a little heavy with the ball. They're making Pompey work very hard defensively, Everton, stretching it from left to right, and left to right, and right to left.
Stubbs with the head.
Little clash there. I think he might have just caught the back of Yakubu's head as he went to head it through.
Ooh. Yes, we can't blame the blades on the boots for that one.
Yeah, he goes up eyeing the ball, and Yakubu goes up and just heads the back of his head as he makes contact with the ball. That often leads to a cut, doesn't it?
It's the latest in a line of stoppages that rather interrupted the flow. The game began with a little tentative nature to it. Then the sides were getting into their stride. Watson with a header that whipped off the outside of the post. Quasi with a long-range shot that, as Andy said, had Nigel Martin giving it up. And again, the frame of the goal, rescuing a goalkeeper. But since then, it's been a bit bitty. Patrick Berger will be the subject of the player cam when the play resumes.
I think that foul stat shows you what it's been, Martin. It's been a nice game. You know, there's not been an awful lot of aggression in the game. People have got on with it. Hardly been a tackle in the game. Well, there's been three fouls, basically. Doesn't mean there has been a tackle, of course, but it's been a nice game, you know.
We've also got one of the, how should I say, the less picky Premiership referees, in Dermot Gallagher. As he has to obey the new medical regulations.
Well, I might have to, I don't know whether I'll have to stitch that up now or whether he'll get back on if there's blood around that. But they'll drop someone back in, maybe Steve Watson, drop back into centre-back, and whether he gets straight back on again.
It might be the sort of decision that Stephen Curran had to make up at Middlesbrough yesterday, had to wait.
Well, he's just dropped Coban back, and Pistone tucked in one.
Jimmy Floyd Husband was off for, it seemed like about 10 or 12 minutes.
It was easy though. Just looking down below me, at least they're just trying to patch him up, get to half-time, and then do a proper job on him then. Hasselbaink was too severe, the one just to patch up, isn't it?
So there is the risk if you just go back out again and immediately get blood coming out. They have to take you off now. To deal with that problem on a regular basis since the change in regulations because of the risk of infection passing from one player to another. Blood is spilt. So the health authorities have alerted the football authorities to. Here's Cahill.
Oh, wrong way. Just came back into traffic, Tim Cahill. Coban was making the move. He wanted it left. Cahill should have kept it going.
Always had a tremendous ability to throw the ball, Steve Watson. He used to do it with that handstand motion, which got outlawed.
He'd have trouble around this ground doing it with a handstand motion.
He would. Have to come down the steps, wouldn't he? Making Hislop work for it, and he didn't take it cleanly with bodies around him.
Yeah, but he does the job in the end. A little bit of pressure from his own players as much as anything.
Fine. Quasi. Now Griffin. Quasi again.
Well, that's been Berkowitz for me. That's all he's been able to do with Carsley's presence in this first half. Is he knows he's under pressure, just pop it back and then try and get involved again.
Now again, trying to just ease it off to Fuller and go for a return pass. Put forward by Gravison for Bent to chase. Primus matching the run. Everton wanting to support the striker here with Kilban. Watson's in the middle. Cahill's in the middle. Carsley.
Yeah, that's ambitious. Again, a little bit of patience, a little bit of thought, and Hibbert's making a run wide. This time Yakubu hadn't tracked him. But I played him in. That was a real ambitious effort from Lee Carsley. And certainly after almost 40 minutes of this game, I think David Moyes will be the happier of the two coaches.
Hibbert. Give away from Griffin. I might complain that the front men weren't really showing for him. Primus. Taken down by Gravison. He looked left in this first half predominantly. But, thinking about going in the opposite direction. Andy Fye arrived.
Well, it might be the first free kick that Pompey have given away. A little clumsy, but it's no more than that.
40th minute. It's almost as if the sunshine's got something to do with it as well. It's warm and pleasant. Portsmouth.
That suits Everton. I mean, if you were David Moyes Everton players, you'd want to keep the game at this kind of tempo. Happy at the wayside. You wouldn't want anything to happen that would fire up Pompey and get this home record up and running again. They've been fantastic here. They've frustrated them Everton today and played well themselves, I think. They've used the ball.
Alan Irvin on the right of the picture. Kilback. See whether Pistone was kind of supporting that time, and the fullback was a bit off the pace. Graveston recognised that assistance was required. Everton get the throw. Marcus Bent heading it on powerfully, and Cahill was coming in with Unsworth, the ex-Evertonian.
Well, the ex-Evertonian did a decent job here because he's had to ease Cahill out the way. As Cahill got in front of him, just for a moment, Unsworth was struggling, but he eased him out and got the header on this. That's good defending. Just strong enough to hold Cahill off.
Graveston to take the corner. In towards Steve Watson. I'm not sure whether that was rehearsed or not, but
no, it looked rather short, the hit, didn't it? It looked like it wasn't hit properly, but it was an extremely impressive header that he scored from there.
He is capable of that. Versatile performer. Has played as a striker in his past. Kilban.
Well, they get plenty of movement, Everton. You have to say at corners, they put plenty of white shirts in there, and there's plenty of movement, which can upset teams. Almost again. They've been close, Everton, from set plays.
They've been talking about their togetherness. Sometimes that helps when you're a smaller squad, which isn't the norm in the Premiership. Players get into that mode of looking over their shoulder, seeing whether 2, 3, maybe 4 other candidates for their role in the team.
When you look at the subs bench, so it's a pretty strong one as far as Everton go. Duncan Ferguson, Kevin Campbell, Yobo and James McFadden. That's pretty strong.
Berger. Late in the first half here at Fratton Park. Yakubu. Carsley. And across second arm.
Yeah, well, deliberate handball, the yellow card usually follows it. It's almost as if he's sticking up to point to something and the ball's come up and got it. But Dermot decides free kick's enough.
Well, apart from that quasi-blast, they've not kept Everton on the back foot any sort of significant period in this first half, but here's a chance for Portsmouth to get the lead before the break, but quasi having hit a superb shot, the moment really of the half to this point, and rather weakens his contribution in this first period.
I don't think any words are needed to describe that one. That was best. But you would think that, you know, I think Harry Redknapp, Jim Smith and company have got a decision to make at half-time. And I think it just concern the system they play, the players that are out there. He has the ability to change it when you look at who they have on the bench. So he's either got to do that, I feel, as the home side, or he's got to find a way of getting the influential people, the Bergers, and particularly the one getting the ball now, Eyal Berkovic, into doing more than just that.
Quasi, who's had much more of the ball than Berkovic because of Carsley's attentions on the Israeli international. There's Yakubu.
I think that's a hugely ambitious and wrong choice. Patrick Berger is about 10 yards away from him, just as right as he collects this. He's sucked white shirts toward. Look at Berger, give me it. He's asking, give me it. He's got a huge amount of time, Berger. But look at the angle he takes that shot on at.
I don't know if you remember the first goal here against Crystal Palace, Fuller's goal. Berkovic, in that sort of position, side-footed the ball across to Fuller and said, stick it in the net. Needed that sort of composure then. But he's still very young, Yakubu. He's 21, he's got massive potential. 14 goals in his last 15 league games. Patrick here against Fulham, 4 against Middlesbrough on the last day of last season. We're into added time before half-time at Fratton Park. Everton, of course, won here last season, but it was their only away win in the entire league campaign. 3 added minutes, a series of stoppages. It's Kilban.
Well, he got in there.
It's not the first header that they've managed in this first half either.
Well, David Unsworth are happy, I think. He just lets Kilban get in front of him. And in behind Stefanovic. He just gets sucked a little bit towards the defender. Otherwise, it might have made an easier header for Kilban.
Stubbs. It's a beefy contest, that, between Unsworth and Watson. Cahill. He's got rather a thick file in the FA's disciplinary locker.
I mean, this is just clumsy. It's no more than that.
Unsworth to take the free kick. And Berkovic coming towards the ball, taking Carsley with him, but when it's gone into Berkovic, he's just given it back to where it's come from, and it hasn't been productive for Portsmouth, except in retaining possession in the same area. Hard to find a way through for the home team. Fuller, back it comes again to Unsworth. Quasi. Fuller. They've made space where there seemed to be none. Just overdid it in the end.
Carried out, that's the thing.
Fine header by Stefanovic.
Well, they can go left, I have to say. If that was chosen left, Quasi was this side, he'd come and joined the play, and there was a huge gap for Pistoni and Kilban.
Well, let's put this into some context, because Portsmouth are a tough team on their own patch. Everton have come here with the self-belief that's come from an excellent 5-game run, 4 wins and a draw after that almost humiliating start to their season. But losing at home to Arsenal is no disgrace, but they were well beaten that day, and who would have forecast what has happened for them since? But I think from the 45 minutes you've seen here, maybe see a taste of how they've done it. They've been very well organised, came close to a goal early on through Steve Watson. They've quelled the Portsmouth threat, except for one moment when Nigel Quasi really let rip, and one wonders how the first half would have developed if that had gone in instead of staying out of the frame of the goal. At half-time, it is 0-0. So far, Everton will be pleased with the way that they've curbed the normal attacking zest of Portsmouth.
Well, I'm not surprised the change has been made. We talked about it all through the first half. Not only the lack of effect Kyle Berkovic was having, but the joy that everyone were getting in wide areas.
Unsworth. Well, it was an attack conducted at a much quicker tempo than anything really Portsmouth put together in the first half.
Yeah, this is much better. This time they catch Everton a little narrow. Needs to be something pretty special though. Beat Nigel Martin from there.
Well, I know the goal celebrations have caught your eye and the punishments for them. Andy, I don't know if David Unsworth scored in this game quite what we see from him. It was a good strike from a player who one way or another, collected 40 goals for Everton in his 2 spells with the club. Great penalty taker, of course. He's already taken the 1 and scored 1 for Pompey on the opening day. And they drew here with Birmingham City. Alan Stubbs, incidentally, 4 stitches in that head wound.
And such a lot of his job is that there. We've just seen Joseph Yobo do. It's no surprise that they haven't taken a chance with him.
Loire. Who has started brightly. This bright afternoon down on the south coast. Really a nettle to be grasped here. It was a tidy, pleasant first half, really.
Well, that's better.
Didn't feel the full force of competition.
Well, that's an example of something we did not see any of. Harry's obviously the right go-to players for the tempo of the game, which I said off. It was a nice game, and Everton would be delighted with that tempo. Didn't want it to change. Harry obviously wasn't, and does want it to change.
Portsmouth were to win, they'd be guaranteed a place in the top 8 tonight, and with a game in hand.
Well, it's a huge incentive for this club.
Led off by Fuller, and by Loire, and then by Fry. Griffin. Nobo and Yakubu. Same numbers, same nationality. Another from African origins, Loire plays for the Congo.
Well, it's hitting hope here. That's what you get with Loire. Sometimes moments of brilliance, and sometimes that.
Thomas Gravison, another player being followed by our player cam, Sky Digital viewers. Pistone. Of course, Everton have already shown their durability away from home. They got a goalless draw at Old Trafford. Bit speculative from Bent. So again, anticipated well by Stefanovic. Such a key figure for Harry Redknapp's team defensively. They had a spell in English football a few years ago with Sheffield Wednesday. Perhaps didn't catch the eye as much then as he certainly has done since he's come back from a period in Holland. In a country where he always kept a house. Pistone. Loire again trying to make things happen. He's made things happen here against Portsmouth. He is fouled Carsley. Always got the option with this diagonal ball from left to right to look for Steve Watson. Stoney. Watson's got free, tucked it down cutely, but cleared by Griffin. It's lost it, and now Everton need to regroup on that part of the pitch on the far side because Fuller is coming at them at pace. And Dermot Gallagher, who's pretty quick to get there himself, says free kick to the home team.
Well, I can only think Shobo's put an arm across. So this is a pretty good race. But does his arm go across the shoulder? It does. And that's what Dermot Gallagher saw. And that's why the free kick's been given.
Well, a change in personnel for Portsmouth, a change in plan, a change in pace, it seems, of their approach. Stefanovic trying to come in from the opposite flank. Unsworth takes, nowhere near deep enough for the defender. Quasi. Unsworth. Some step-overs, Loire. And they've teed up Berger. It's a great block by Weir, not once but twice. The first one was much more important, of course, with Patrick Berger trying to pick a route to goal.
He was unlucky. Much better. Lovely play from Loire. That time put everything right. Worked the opening. Picked out a good option on Berger.
For a team with such a good home record, Portsmouth was certainly a bit coy in the first half. They've been reading up on Everton's record in the last 5 games. Griffin. Fuller. Through towards him, keeping the ball. Another one again. Even he knows quite what's going to happen when he gets into position with the ball at his feet. The air of unpredictability can scare the daylights out of defenders. Fuller. Alua. Kubu, Fuller and others in the middle. Torpedoing towards it.
Well, that ball out from Fuller to Lualua is a ball that was never on once in the first half, and it's amazing what a difference putting a bit of width into your team high up the pitch can make. Suddenly it stretches a back four, makes them think, and that in turn will open gaps if they want to go central.
Berger takes, Stefanovic coming in with menace again.
Yeah, 1 or 2 threats from set plays where players have gotten to the ball but haven't quite got the power or the accuracy in the header. This time Stefanovic can only glance it, but he's under pressure.
Unable to involve Kilban in the second half, like they did in the first, not yet. Everton. Stefanovic. Strong header by Yobo, and then back by Stefanovic, captured by Cahill for Everton. Gravison, no time for him though. Broken up by 5. The Beckham, the Kubu forward, but Yobo had anticipated the direction of the pass. He was quicker mentally and physically then.
Well, a much better start from Portsmouth for the second half. He's done what he had to do. He's changed it. He's given him a new problem to deal with.
He's forsaken Fred for Jim. Here's Fuller. Lualua, who played the ball, is herring into the middle. Still Fuller. And it's that part of the pitch where coaches will say to attackers, that's where you can do it, try your tricks in there. It won't always work out.
Yeah, just a bit of overkill, I felt. He had support. Just plenty of step overs, drag backs. At the end of the day, nothing to show for it, apart from giving a free kick away. But that was promising, again.
Kilban. Put in, belonged to Primus. Put in David Weir. Everton have got another centre-back cross straight. Maybe not cut this time. That's the case for David Weir.
Yeah, well, he's okay.
Continues to rule himself out of Scotland selection. David Weir, who felt he was unjustly criticised by the coach Bertie Vogts. Hasn't played since. Watson. Cahill's flagged offside. Well, Duncan Ferguson, lest you forget, is still an Everton player. And still capable of being a match winner.
Well, this will be an interesting one. Feeling we're certain that it certainly won't be Marcus Bent. You wouldn't think it comes off, but perhaps they might have to change the system as well. You'll have noticed Portsmouth have started well. We're a little concerned about that, David Moyes. So something must be done, he feels. The introduction of Duncan Ferguson's part of it. Interesting to see who's coming off.
Ferguson in his second spell with Everton. His first spell actually began with a debut here at Fratton Park in a League Cup tie almost 10 years ago. Steve Watson coming off. Always kept away supporters going a little bit. Murmur around the ground. Recognisable figure. Still a great force in the air. Challenged by Yakubu, who's kept on going. Pistoni helped Weir out, and Weir helps himself and his team. And so too does Kilban. Cahill. Kept it nicely, Everton. Hibbert. And of course, the arrival of Duncan Ferguson is often followed by always being a hit up to him from all sorts of angles, but Hibbert spurned the chance to do that, trying to keep it on the deck. Goes on the ground, but to Ferguson this time. And Cahill clips Andy Fife. And Stubbs well enough to come out and watch the second half. Fan as well as an Everton player.
Well, it looks like Gravison's right of forward in midfield at the moment. I don't think they want to play there.
He can get the chalk on his boots, is he? Has to go across to try and challenge Unsworth. Now Stefanovic. Turning out to be a game of fine margins, this one. We've seen now tactical adjustments by both managers. Having gone there with Jim Smith, this message is coming from all three of the coaching staff. Incidentally, Joe Jordan is also part of the Portsmouth backroom group now. Bent. To Ferguson, who's more left-sided than right. From his left side, he might have had a shot even from that distance. Carsley taking it back into traffic. Can switch the play here, and it's Gravison. Ferguson. Bent. Well, Duncan Ferguson, having given it to Marcus Bent, would have liked the ball just to be rolled back for him to have a strike, but Bent he got the winner against Middlesbrough.
Well, he finds himself Gravison in acres of space, doesn't get pressed. It's a decent effort in the end. All closed up a little bit for him. But it looks to me, actually, Mark, as if Gravison's going to just play behind the front two. They haven't got any width at all on the right-hand side, Everton. Going to play probably three narrow. Kilban will have to tuck in then. He's doing here. And they've obviously given Gravison there on the ball a little bit of a license to go and be a front man if he wants to.
Ferguson trying a through ball for Bent. Kilban. He's a gritty little player, Andy Griffin, often used in earlier in his career as man-marking specialist. We've got a man to mark today in Kevin Kilban. But Ferguson has got down to business quickly.
Well, he's a threat, Duncan Ferguson. And of course, Portsmouth know that.
Been fulfilling for the forward players as yet. Ricardo Fuller, followed by the player cam. With the Duncan Ferguson coming at him for a second header. Kilban, Primus is there again. Stefanovic. stake if either side can turn this level pegging into a win here. Will sweep up the table. Everton will cement that third position. And as we said at the start, to be just 1 point behind Chelsea, who are expected to be challenging for the championship. Ferguson trying to clear a path for Ben. And some tidy work from Primus. He was deemed by Harry Redknapp, I think, when Portsmouth got promotion. Not quite to the level of the Premiership, but Limboy Primus has proved the manager wrong.
Yeah, he's done well for him. The changes have helped Everton. Just upset the rhythm of Pompey that they've had at the beginning of the second half.
Berger, Fuller. Goes right again to Lua. Probably when it did come in, it took the two front men a bit by surprise.
Yeah, I think I wanted it a little earlier. It might be one touching in, and they might be ready for it. Much more difficult cross when you drive in field like that.
Who took charge of the corner rather than summoning Berger. Quasi, just in time, the challenge for Everton from Gravison. And then Quasi's lost out to the Dane. And a chance just to drop it in behind Griffin. Hislop read it well, but it was overhit way beyond Marcus Bent. Fuller. A bit of a dig at him then. What is promising, Andy, is that both Tony's trying to influence the game with their tactical changes in an attacking sense. Griffin hasn't done much attacking, but into a position where he might have crossed then, and there was a late challenge by Fuller. Incidentally, that yellow card has been withdrawn that was given to him last weekend when he seemed to be bundled over by Brad Friedel and was accused of diving. Seemed to be bundled over. He was bundled over by Brad Friedel. Sorry about it. Understating. Maybe we'll get Brad's version of events tomorrow. Monday Night Football. Blackburn are at Charlton. Lua. Quasi. Yakubu. Good challenge by Yobo. He's a fine defender. Kilvan. Oh, there's space here for Bent. And he's put it wide.
Took an awfully long time to get it under control and had the shot. Never really settled, but they're caught wide open. David Unsworth sees the danger a little late. Throwback, should be aware now. Two players up front. He's got to be round on the cover when the ball's coming from the other side. He wasn't. Ben almost made him pay.
Ferguson. Good sporting touch by Gravison, because Ricardo Fuller in need of some help.
One or two of these today. A little clash.
Just confirmation of that Monday match. Charlton still coming to terms with some new players, and Blackburn, of course, with a new manager, Mark Hughes. And there's a very experienced manager. Maybe needing his eye for detail here. David Moyes, who has been saying this week he's a little bit more relaxed with his players, maybe a more open style of management. Comes with each passing year in the job, a little less intensity. That's not to say the desire for victory ever eases off. He's in the same stock as Sir Alex Ferguson in that respect. Now a great example to David Moyes. Kilburn really committed himself. He's back on the pitch, I think. Here's Fuller. Carsley, who got the winning penalty in the shootout in the Carling Cup for Everton down at Ashton Gate. Bent. One of the few occasions really in the second half we've seen Tim Cahill trying to join in from midfield. Carsley trying to get the game going with a quick free kick.
Well, it's there to be one on either side. There's no doubt about that. Sadly, either of the teams have had certainly no sustained moments of pressure in this game.
And Ferguson trying to get free. Stefanovic, the main man for Pompey, at the back again. Ravison. Here's Pistone. Everton still with plenty of players forward. And it is Ferguson who gets to it, and Cahill is entitled to feel for where the ball was dropping. Hislop clearly beat him to it. Redknapp reaching for another substitute. At the three-quarter mark in the match, Ricardo Fuller's day is done. But I like him here. And he'll be replaced by Steve Camara, who scored the winning goal in the Carling Cup for Portsmouth at Tranmere on Tuesday night. He's been playing in Italy with one of the lesser clubs, but in the top division nonetheless. Modena. Here's Camara. Bergen. Camara again. Couldn't take the ball with it.
Yeah, just a fraction behind them.
Good power by Marcus Bent. Good start in football as a wide player. His first club, Brentford. Another chance to invoke the aerial threat that is Ferguson, and he's not the only one.
No, they've got a big side, haven't they? They've certainly got 5 in there that are all capable. And I include Coban, Pistone, and all of those in that.
It's weird. Well, he was moving. There were a lot of static players around him.
I said first half the movement's good from corners, and look how he comes from back to front. There's absolutely no movement near post. No one goes to try and win the ball from Pompey. It's almost after you. In between Kwasi and Berger, the ball drops. Neither of them move to go and attack it. A little unlucky.
We're there again. Picked on by Yakubu, but fellow players in a line. No one had anticipated.
I mean, even the Pompey crowd, Martin, are normally very vocal. They've been fairly subdued second half.
Good touch on by Bent. The assistant flagging against Ferguson.
I always wonder about that when a striker does that. He's got control of the ball. I don't know if there's any need to be getting a grip of somebody's shot. You know, if you've got the ball in between you and the ball, like he has, why does he need a grip of Primus's shot? Why does he need to do that? Has control of the ball.
You can feel for the opponent, but you don't have to grab him.
No.
But you should feel for the opponent, really, so that you know what your options are. Still again, Ferguson wins it, and fairly too. Bent showed too much of it to Stefanovic. In comes Weir, who's having a commanding game. Camara. Now Hibbert. 20 minutes to go. Kilback. 100 times, Andy, whether the players are feeling the grass are a little bit long and a few shanked shots, and the passes perhaps haven't zipped around.
Might be. I mean, Richard and I walked around the ground earlier when we got here this morning. He thought it looked a bit long. I thought it looked okay. You know, this time of the year, they tend to leave it a little longer. It's going to get a bit of wear and tear over the next 2 or 3 months with no real growth in there.
Unsworth. Camera. Quasi.
The camera, I mean, he's only been on a couple of minutes, but twice he's in possession of the ball. He's injected a bit of pace into the play. And he hasn't been over fussy. He's done something, he's worked a bit of space, and then he's played someone in. It's a free kick again against Big Duncan. Another chunk of Primus's shirt. But they know, Stefanovic and Primus, that's concentration for them at the back. They have to now. They were okay when it was just bent. They felt they could cope with them on their own, but now they have a dual problem to deal with. So for that reason, they really have to be all about concentration now, the two centre-backs.
Another well-judged header by Weir. Cristiani wasn't quite expecting that. He got going again. Will be going through both managers' minds. We can win this, but we could also lose it.
Well, you just get it. We've had the feeling for a long time in this game that one goal could win it.
Everton had the chance to emulate Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, 1-0 away wins yesterday. The table with that calibre of club. Pistone. Always had plenty of muscle, David Unsworth.
Big lad to get round, isn't he?
Handball. The ball was cleared, it struck Gravison. Okay, he'll get this. No.
Well, it's been a game where Everton arrived here with a system, with a plan. They feel to make life really uncomfortable for Pompey. They would know all about their home form and how important it is to quell the crowd and frustrate Portsmouth. They've done that. They're probably the better side the first half and might well have had the lead. They didn't. And I just think second half from there, it's been a little flat second half. Not a lot's happened, but they'll be fairly happy at the score. Nothing wrong with that. Draw away from home. A good point for Everton when you look at the start to the season.
Yes, they had a few excuses to feel sorry for themselves, didn't they, with the financial wrangling at the club, the loss of Wayne Rooney, who professed such devotion to Everton. But they haven't done that, just the opposite. They've been together, they've been strong, they've worked hard here, just lacked the extra edge in attack to turn a level game into a winning hand. Maybe they can still do that in the 15 minutes or so that remain. Pistone. Ferguson's been busy since he's come on. He's caught from behind there.
That'll be a booking for Fire. I don't think there's a doubt about that. We've talked about how it's been a nice game, but you don't get away with that.
Now, those are the sort of tackles that should be outlawed by this FIFA initiative 2 or 3 years ago. And it was said that the dangerous tackle from behind, and that was dangerous, should be punished by a red card. I think Dermot Gallagher's got a red card, but
I've never seen it these days.
No.
Good lad, Dermot.
Doesn't go looking for trouble. Gravison with the free kick. Ferguson's there, and he just felt if he'd lent into it, he'd be celebrating, giving Everton the lead.
Well, Saka Hislop will probably tell us he judged this beautifully. I think he's lucky. Goalkeepers have to come and take it at the highest point they can. He didn't. He gambled at Ferguson not getting there, and he just about got away with it. Any touch and it was past him.
Well, now we're getting some of the crowd noise that's been very conspicuous in recent home games, and certainly the back end of last season when Portsmouth finished so strongly. Camera. Some free kick on the edge of the area.
Well, again, Camera, it's 3 times he's been involved. 3 times he's injected that little bit of pace where it's been needed. Hibbert claims he won the ball. You can see that he does get the ball, but does he take Camera first? That would be the only question. And Dermot Gallagher didn't have the best view of that. Felt it was a free kick, and that's what he's given.
Well, the volume level has gone up here at Fratton Park.
Well, Unsworth around it. Not so sure it's made for a left footer.
But the occasion may be made for his name in the headlines.
Well, I've got 2 or 3 right in front of the goalie now. They're trying to get somebody on the line. David Weir tried to get on the post.
It's Unsworth or Lualua. Lualua.
Nah. Body shape didn't really. He's leaning back on this when he hits it. Look at that. See how far he's leaning back? That's difficult when you're leaning that far back to get it up and down again.
Yeah, if you hit it that hard.
Yeah.
One or two of the Portsmouth players, while they were lining up for that free kick, were asking the bench, I think, as to whether that was the plan.
And you would work in set plays in those sort of areas. You work on the ball across the 18-yard line.
But you might not work with Lualua, of course, wasn't in the team at the start.
Exactly.
But then Berkovic would have probably taken it with the player replaced. Griffin. There's some glory here for somebody. 12 minutes to go. Ferguson. Carsley. Back goes Stefanovic. Ferguson does extremely well. Bench shot. He benefited from a deflection to get the 1 goal to beat Middlesbrough.
Well, it might look one a little time, and if you've got Duncan Ferguson and it's late in the game, why not? Because he is such a handful.
Gravison will take the corner. He looked instinctively for Ferguson's position. It's run away from Duncan Ferguson, who was waiting by the near post. That was break stopped in its tracks by the referee's whistle. The consternation of Camera. But interesting.
It would have been very interesting.
Target for plenty for Everton and also for our player cam, Duncan Ferguson, for Sky Digital viewers. Carsley taking this one. Cahill! That's what they bought him for.
Well, that's a wonderful header, wasn't it? It's almost a carbon copy of the header he won the game against Manchester City with. What a header. I mean, he isn't marked. It is a free header. Andy Griffin, I don't know. We've talked about the movement all day in the box, Everton, but that's very, very slack marking. He's jumped in between players. It's a thumping header.
And it's a controlled celebration, incidentally.
Well, I talked about that incident, Martin, and I tell you what, the incident the free kick came out of, we'll get a chance to look at it in a minute. I wondered at the time when Camera won that challenge, was that a bit generous, that decision from the referee? As the ball bounced here, you look, I tell you, there's not nah, he had a little look at Hibbert, and that's probably what the referee gave it for.
Well, Portsmouth have a big problem. They've not been beaten here since February in the league when Chelsea conquered them. But Tim Cahill has tilted this Everton's way. A goal-getting midfield player in Division 1, eyed up by many a Premiership scout. Everton stepped in and made the decision. Cahill's already got one winner to Manchester City, and despite the danger of that cross, Everton still lead by his goal, a trademark Tim Cahill goal.
Well, he's not the biggest, is he? We talked about the threat that they have from set plays, and we've talked about Ferguson and Bent and Kilban. But up top, Tim Cahill. But look at Griffith's positioning. Just comes back, and he's suddenly Andy Griffith's lost him, and he can do nothing about it.
Kilban. So, Everton poised maybe to join the 1-0 away winners club for this particular Premiership weekend. It's really been the story of much at the top of the Barclays Premiership. Still time for Portsmouth to protect this proud home run. They need to get hold of the ball in some meaningful positions. It's Kilban. Marcus Bent, I know they're 1-0 up, but he just stood outside the far corner of the penalty area.
Yeah, you know, when Everton finished, what, 7th 2 years ago, pattern of the score lines was 1-0. An awful lot of the games, they went in, I think they had 6 in a row at one time, where they all won them 1-0. They're heading for the 3rd in a row. This early in the Premiership, 1-0 win.
4th clean sheet in a row.
Yeah, pretty good stuff.
It's been a game that's deserved the goal. It's been sort of bubbling under. Tim Cahill has provided on his return to the team. I said over the team captions, bad news about Leon Osman. He's done well, and he's finally fulfilling some of the promise he's had since being in the youth team, the Youth Cup winner at Goodison Park. But he damaged a groin in the Carling Cup tie at Ashton Gate, but it left a gap. Cahill available again to fill it in the league team. Fires cross. Now Kilban. Elected by Primus. Quasi. Getting closer and closer. Has to come back to Griffin. Pretty well in the air defensively, Everton, so Griffin probably not wanting to just sling it in. No one came for the ball to feet, that's what he'll be thinking. Gravison. Cahill. Now Bent. It's another decision. It gives Everton a free kick where put the ball in that sort of area that's given them the lead, and maybe Duncan Ferguson. It's a game of bluff, really. Cahill found the space. This time it is towards Ferguson. And it's taken off Cahill's toes. Is Cahill going to get a card for this?
Well, I think he's unlucky if he's getting booked for this. I think that ball bounces and he's entitled to. He doesn't really flash in at Shaka Hislop. It was a token gesture in the end, but it certainly was there. Makes a nice little run off the header here. He just puts his foot up. Guess Dermot didn't like the follow through. Referee.
Another yellow card on Tim Cahill's record, and another goal. That pretty much story of his time in England. He's a lot of suspensions. It's always a threat for Millwall. He's very prominent in the run that not only got to the FA Cup final, but towards the playoffs. They just tailed off at the end of last season.
That was a good header from David Weir there.
There's been plenty of them, haven't there?
Yeah.
Berger. Loire. Portsmouth needing something a little inspirational here.
That's not it.
Aggressive defending collectively by Everton. talked about a team together. We're together here.
Well, they've got something to hang on to in particular now.
He hasn't shown a willingness to run the channels, Duncan Ferguson, has he? He's
No.
got plenty of other attributes, but dismissed that one. Maybe beyond his redress, which I'm sure it was. Why waste energy at this late stage? Had the ball to feet, though. But it's Gravison. Oh, Marcus Bent. Hibbert. Cahill. Gravison. Well, they started the better side. They were the quicker to settle, and they're finishing strongly, Everton. Still 3 minutes plus added time to go. Griffin. Here's Lua. Trying to go it alone. Not easy to do in any league, let alone this league. Mistimed by Gravison.
You're very kind, Mr. Tyler.
It's a good challenge, certainly well timed by Pistone. Quasi. Yakubu. Been kept under wraps. He's only got that hat-trick, only a hat-trick, but that's the only game in which he scored. Free against Fulham. Lua's won it against the odds. Good ball in. Dealt with though by Weir. And Pistone sloppy. Cost Everton. No. That's the press is a tame one.
Twice he had the opportunity. Twice he was found lacking.
But David Moyes, well, Harry Redknapp obviously still hoping, but David Moyes must be delighted. It's been a sound professional performance on a good run. I know look at confidence when you deal with teams, and we come and see them from time to time. What sort of state is their morale in? Other factors as well, but the morale is very important. We expected them to be high on self-esteem. But this is a difficult game. Portsmouth away, make no mistake about it, and they're on the verge of winning it.
Well, they've done a job on them today, absolutely no doubt about that.
Unsworth.
I mean, Nigel Mark must have arrived here thinking, well, Mark could be busy today, I might have to make a save or two. Can't think of anything, look.
No, that's where Portsmouth have been unusually unproductive. Right from the first, they didn't seem to attack the problem with the same gusto that we've seen in other matches. We talked about out of respect to Everton, and respect is an important commodity, but there were some times where you just got to rattle into a game, and it looked as though at the start of the second half they were going to be capable of doing that. Nothing materialised from that brisk beginning when Lua was brought on.
Yeah, it fell away in full marks to David Moyes, because he identified that problem pretty much right away, and within 9-10 minutes of the second half he had made the change of his own, which has worked in the favour, no doubt about that. But I think from the first minute, man, I think Everton started brighter. Even, you know, I can look back as early as the first 90 seconds of this match, and you thought, I think they're kidding on, but they just didn't look at it, Pompey. Everton were bright and bubbly.
5. We're into added time, of which there'll be 2 minutes. Yakubu. Camara is in the middle. Camara just sucked in under the flight. Read better by Pistone. He didn't feel the need to move into the middle. And another potential crossing position ends up with no end product. Phlegmatic Nigel Martin. knows that another clean sheet is less than a minute away. It'll be interesting to hear Portsmouth's reaction to that decision that led to the free kick. But there's no doubt once the free kick was taken, the marking wasn't quite a Premiership quality, and Tim Cahill did the rest. Lua. Camera.
Handball, he's got rolling on the ball, yeah. Well, he's not happy. Dermot Gallagher couldn't have had a better look at this. Pulls it down out the air. It's clumsy from David Weir, but is there enough contact there? Look at the referee, couldn't have been better positioned. Just for a minute there, I wondered whether it was going to be the free kick for diving. It wasn't. He gave it for handball.
Well, this extraordinary Everton revival goes on. Another win, another clean sheet. Delight for David Moyes. Harry Redknapp has seen Everton come here and become the first team to beat Portsmouth in the league at Fratton Park since February. Tim Cahill was the man who did it. 16 points now. Remember, they failed to get 40 points last season. They're tucked in behind Arsenal and Chelsea. And they remain a bogey club to Pompey, who've now lost 8 league games in a row to the Merseyside club. Those 8 games spread over a good number of years, incidentally. No Wayne Rooney to win it for them this season, but Tim Cahill has stepped into the breach. Everton increased their hold on 3rd place. 3 home games to come in their 4 league matches next month. Strength in adversity, indeed. Portsmouth 0, Everton 1.
7.5 hours now since Everton last conceded. Pompey down into 14th as a result of that defeat here on goal difference. Remember, Charlton and Blackburn, who also sit in the bottom half, play on the Monday Night Football tomorrow. It was Everton's best Premiership start. It's their best start now for 26 years. They sit in 3rd place, 1 point behind Chelsea, who have made an unbeaten start to the season, and 3 behind Arsenal, who are also unbeaten. Brian Robson and Walter Smith when we come back. Also the reaction to another 1-0 win for Everton, courtesy of Tim Cahill. That's next on a Super Sunday.
Arsenal and Chelsea are in front of you. Is there times you have to shake your head?
No, we don't. We don't look at the table. We just look at the next game. You know, that's the most important one.
You're not surprised by the start of the season at all?
Oh, we know if we work hard, then we've got a chance. And up until now, we've been working really hard, and we're getting the results. So it's just up to us to keep doing that.
Job done today. Good return for you as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's just good to be in the side, and I'm just enjoying it. Playing, scoring, just a bonus. But we're getting together well as a group, and it's great discipline, and it's good to see from the lads, and it's showing us how to get results. When you scored, did you have to think for a moment about what to do? I nearly did it again, but I thought to myself, no, it's just one of them things where I had to be sensible. Before I didn't know what the score was with taking the shirt off and that, but it doesn't matter. We got the 3 points, and we're just really pleased. Very professional today, but great team spirit, isn't there? How important, how strong is that team spirit in that dressing room? I think that's the most important thing we've got, to be honest. Everybody keeps telling us we're not the best bunch of players, but we're working hard and we're sticking together, and that seems to be getting us results. There is an element of that, isn't there? People say Everton now, it won't go on, it's a flash in the pan. Are you conscious of that? Does it bother you? It doesn't matter what people say, does it? Because people are going to write us off as long as they want. Now they're probably going to jump on the bandwagon and say, well, we knew Everton could pull it out the bag, and David Moyes is a great manager all of a sudden now, and the lads are doing really well. So disregard what people say, we're there to play football, and that's what we've done, and it's showing now on the table. But as Dave said, the table doesn't mean nothing, does it? Great header, but he got more in defensively today. He's the man of the match. Would you present it for us? Thank you. There you go. Thanks very much. Well done, fellas. Thank you.
Harry Redknapp is still with his team, and David Moyes, who must be absolutely delighted with the performance of his today, because they've won it by 1-0.
David, silly to ask you if you're pleased, but just how pleased?
Well, delighted. I mean, I could say lots of things, but it's just great to be doing so well. The players have been terrific, they really have, and today they've done it again. At this moment in time, we're unbeaten away from home in the Premiership. I think we've taken more points at this time than we did all last season, so a big pat in the back to the lads.
You've talked about the simple things, about being professional, about teamwork, about spirit, all that. Just tell us how strong it is in there.
Well, it is. I mean, it's basically the same group of players with the odd one or two, which, you know, probably didn't do as well as we should have last year. but it's still the same group of players who the year before done very well. So we're just trying to do the same things we've done all along, and at this moment in time it's going well for us. They're full of confidence. It makes a big difference when your players are got a lot of belief in themselves and each other, and from those points of view, everything's going very well.
You're wise enough, you're sensible enough to know that people will say it's a flash in the pan, it won't go on. Your thoughts about that?
Yeah, it's a flash in the pan, and we'll wait and see when it blows up. But at this moment in time, the players at Everton are rightly so near the top of the league. It doesn't matter what MD says, that's where they are. But it's not your position in the league what matters at this time of the season, it's the amount of points you accumulate, because come the end of the season, the points will decide where you are. But for us to get, I think that's 16 points on the board at this early stage is a tremendous return.
It's a good month for you though, isn't it? Looking at the fixtures, some home ties, and then Chelsea comes round very soon. That could almost be a top of the table clash.
Ah, well, it's nice saying that, isn't it? We've had a lot of things said against us, which made us sort of wince. Now I can smile when you say that. And it's been good. The players have been smashing since the first day back in pre-season. I keep repeating myself, but they've been bang at it. They take a lot of credit for their attitude and the way they're working, and full credit to the lads, really.
This turnaround from the back end of last season hasn't surprised you at all?
Well, a little bit, because you're down. We were down all summer. We didn't play well last season. We ended up badly. We had a sort of rocky summer time. So I can't say we enjoyed the summer. So we're going to try and enjoy it just now. We've won 5 games, I think, this season already. We only won 9 last season. I didn't enjoy many Saturday nights or Sunday nights, whatever it may be. So I'm beginning to enjoy them a bit better now.
Well, enjoy tonight. Congratulations, well done.
Thank you.
Well, I didn't have that much to do, really. I thought the back four in front was superb today.
The start is incredible. It has surprised a few. Can it go on?
There's no reason why not. It builds confidence. I just think the season started a week too early for us, really.
There's loads of confidence in there, isn't there? Well, what exactly is going right as opposed to what went wrong last year?
It's just results. As soon as you pick up a couple of results in a row, it breeds confidence, and there's certainly plenty of that in that changing room now.
Just talking to the manager, it's a month in which you could play Chelsea in 4 games' time. That could be top of the table stuff.
Well, we'll wait and see where we are at that time. We've got some big games before that, and we need to do well in those.
Very modest, but well done today. Congratulations.
Cheers,